Hey everyone, and welcome back to another Wanderbot Tries Something. Today, that something is Fractal. Now, I don't remember what bundle I got Fractal from, but it was either a Humble Bundle or an Indie Royale. And I'd never heard of it before, I'd never seen it before, and I haven't even played it until today. And if you can tell from the level select screen, I've only played about 4 levels of it, and it's kind of one of those games where I'm unexpectedly loving it. Now, the first thing you notice is there's no tutorial, there's nothing. This is level 1, this is what you see. There's no timer. All you get is a bunch of these hexagons, which, for the uninitiated, is confusing as hell. Now, I messed around with it at first just to make sure I would know what I'm doing, and that remains a smart idea, because boy would I be confused. Because more or less what you're supposed to do is create these little hexagon blooms. And down here on the bottom left, you're supposed to fill up the gauge with enough converted hexagons. I'm not totally sure. But you're supposed to fill it up with enough of these that you complete the level. And you have a limited number of moves. So it's kind of a puzzler in the most basic of senses, but you're supposed to, the levels get more complicated as you go along, and you're supposed to make it through the level without running out of pushes, fill up the bar, pretty simple, and you can chain them like this, which I find quite ingenious, and more or less what you want to do is create as many circumstances as possible where it will chain without wasting all of your pushes. So here, I believe if I chain this one, it will push one there, and it will fill up. This was not what I was expecting out of the game. I was expecting actually another twin-stick top-down shooter with, cool special effects, but that's what I get for not looking at the cutscenes, the screenshots and intro videos particularly well. And you know what? I like being disappointed because this is the best kind of disappointment, where I have no idea what I'm doing, and I'm loving every minute of it. Now, alone, this game is pretty simple, and if you notice I'm getting down to 6 pushes on, what is this, second level? It's not the easiest of games. I think by level 4 or 5, I'm going to throw a conniption fit because it's just going to be a little bit too hard. But, you know what? It's pretty. It's well designed. The graphic design on this is great. I understand what none of these mean because I'm too busy just looking at everything and being like, yeah. But hey, I can go with it. So, sometimes it looks like the levels are randomly generated because if you notice, that one just started off by more or less handing me free points. And you know what? I can't complain about free points. But if you notice the arrows pop up on the hexagons, that shows where they will push when I click down. So if I press there, they will move, create 2. So if I put it right in the middle of these 3, it'll create extra hexagons, whereas if I put it only here, it'll create 1 down there. So you're trying to get as many hexagons out of a movement as possible. If you're only creating 1, you're probably wasting a movement or 2. But in that case, if you can get it to chain like that, totally worth it. Let's see if I can get a good chain reaction in here somehow. Maybe if I just do that. Nope. Not the reaction I was asking for, but you know what? Sets me up for a bunch of chains. This is a puzzle game where I have no idea what I'm doing, but actually this is really clever, and I didn't really notice it, but the tutorial is actually contained in kind of sketchy style around the actual thing. So if you complete it, they burst out and also go into your thing. Neat. So if I do that, and then yeah, that's not what I was intending, but I'm okay with it. Oops. More or less, to quote Portal 2, I'm throwing science at the wall and seeing what sticks, and I think that applies perfectly to this game. It's very, I'm sure once I play more levels, it will make a lot more sense to me. But as it stands, it's mostly just like, hey, let's click here and see what happens, and things chain react out of control, and I don't have the attention span to plan out every move, even though you obviously could. It's kind of a pool system. But I've been throwing hexagons at the wall, and they've been sticking pretty good, and I'm enjoying every minute of this. Now, one thing I haven't commented on yet is that the soundtrack is stunning. It's kind of this nice, light, electro house jazz. I'm not really sure how to categorize music. I've never been good at it. But this is kind of that easy listening sort of thing that, you know, stressful or not, you would love to listen to just kind of, you know, for the next hour or so. You'd forget that there is even music, but at the end of the experience, you just hit that moment where it's like, oh yeah, there was music there. Wow, that was actually really good music. And that's pretty much where I am with this game. And it's got a great soundtrack. I should see if I have the soundtrack available to me. Yeah. So let's see if chaining. Yeah. There's something very cathartic about just pressing a button here and, you know, nothing happens, but maybe you do something over here and also nothing happens, but then you get fed up and you do this, and then you get all sorts of chains. And it's like, okay, everything is all right. Let's see. Now, one thing I'm noticing is if you just... let's see. The music also seems to be semi-procedural, so if I am running out of pushes, it actually will slow the music down to almost a crawl. I really hope that this will manage to chain off and win me the level. No! Ran out of pushes. I was one hexagon away. Wow. That was... What would you do if you couldn't fail? That was kind of a negative ending screen. I mean, it was almost condescending even, I think would be the proper terminology there. But I'll go with it. Let's see. Let's see if I just expand the board out like crazy by pressing all of these weird hexagons and seeing what happens. Because mostly I've been trying to complete blooms as I go and not try and create as many hexes as I can, which could actually be a better strategy. I mean, I guess really thinking about this would be the optimum strategy, but screw thought, I'm an American. Yeah, so I think I'm going to actually keep playing this game a fair amount. On camera or off camera, I'm not sure. I'm not really sure that this would make a particularly interesting viewing experience, but this is a fun game. I would actually recommend playing it to anybody that asked. It's the casual puzzler that you'd almost expect to show up on the iOS, and I wouldn't even be surprised if this was on the iOS or not. I don't think I'm doing as well this round. I think my new strategy is not working out in my favor. Well, let's see how much that chains. Nope. Clearly, I think I should spend more time thinking and less time talking, but hey, we'll see. So, I will just continually do this level as I wrap up my thoughts. So, this game is fun. I would recommend it to anybody that enjoys kind of more of a casual experience from time to time, with a great soundtrack, great visuals. I mean, it's hexagons, but they managed to make it gorgeous. Make blooms, not war. That's their tagline if you haven't ever seen the game before. And I have no idea where that comes from or what that stands for, but it's kind of a neat little saying. And maybe they're just complaining about the overabundance of Call of Duty. I don't know. Maybe I give them too much credit, but this is a smart game. It's kind of like hexagons, not even Sudoku, but just, I don't know. It's enjoyable and much more interesting than I was expecting going into this. I have no idea what I'm doing, but it's really nice to see things chain like that, and the screen shakes a little bit. And yeah, so this game is on Steam. I don't know if it's on any other platforms. If it is, I will put it down in the comments below. Otherwise, it plays amazingly well with keyboard and mouse. I can't imagine it's going to play really any differently for any other platforms. But yeah, let's see. Chain me some more hexagons, Blooms. Okay, I think I'm doing a little bit better than last time. Last time was just embarrassing. Yeah. That's neat that the tempo of the music actually slows down as I creep towards my inevitable failure. But, hey. It's neat. Oh, one last push. Let's make it count. There. Yeah! Got it! Beat the level! After, what, 3 tries? That does not bode well for the, what, next 21 or so levels? I'm not sure how many there are. But, 2-color mode. Well, it's got a 2-color mode. Let's see how this goes before I go any further. Just because might as well show off a feature if they're going to have it. So, I believe you can only make blooms with certain colors, which probably adds an extra level of complexity to the game, and probably makes things a little bit harder. It looks like the screen fills up, and it also looks like it zooms out every single time you... Mwahaha, 2 colors, cute. What's coming next? It looks like the developers had a lot of fun with this game. It's a clever concept and very simple in execution. But hey, I'm enjoying it. Yeah, so it looks like you can't create a bloom with a single color, but you can push the colors around if they're in your way, which is nice. Okay. And it also looks, since it's a little bit harder, you have a lot more pushes and a lot more chances to succeed. Yeah. But would I recommend this game? Definitely. Would I recommend this game and its soundtrack? Even more so. Would I recommend this game's soundtrack over the game itself? Also probably. Huh, interesting. So the purple cubes, if I click in the middle of them, it creates a bunch of blues. Did not know that. Or... okay, this is a little weirdly inconsistent, but I'll go with it. Yeah. So, would I recommend this game? Definitely. Would I keep playing this? Yes. Will I show it? Probably not. But hey, I just go and buy it next time there's a Steam sale for it. I don't even know if they really put this game on sale, but it's fun, it's simple, it's very relaxing. Like, I was not stressed in the slightest trying to do that 4th level several different times. They're different enough that I don't feel like I'm in trouble ever, and I didn't even notice that I was losing, come to think of it. I was just like, oh, I lost. Oh well. Guess that works. And you know what? When a game is like that, I can really get behind it, because it just... That means the game is fun without being punishing. And there need to be more games like that in life. And I can't stop playing this. Help me.